again, we're just going to start with a new pair, Euro USD. As I mentioned in the last video, we've gone back to April 10th, which was the date that come out on the random generator, and same as normal, looking for that internal to external range. So we got it there and now there, so we'll pull that one up. I'm going to try and speed it up a tad with the daily levels. So if I don't see it start to come down, like that candle was really bullish, I didn't probably expect all that move to happen in one day, which is why I skipped again. Yeah, so we go from here, see what happens. See if we come into the level. I'm excited to trade a pair that I feel like should move a bit better, like that one. Oh, that was New York, so we would have took that actually. So I'm going to put that as a trade, even though I know it's most likely an L. Well, actually, sorry, it is an L. So we're going to take that. Setup would have been that. It takes an L, but that's realistic. Tuesday the 15th of April at 11 a.m. Again, being as transparent as possible, that would have been a trade I would have took. So I had the engulfing candle. Session, New York, short. Loss, no, -1%. I need to put -1 in there as well. Engulfing, and let's put a little screenshot because why not? Obviously, going forward as well, these like the EU, GU, and DXY, I can use SMT in live markets. I'm just not going to do it on the backtest, and it just makes no sense. Yeah, so next trade. Again, like I said, going to try and fly through them a bit. We're coming to the end of New York, so there's nothing here. As long as the daily respects it, which it has, we can still look for longs into the next day. Need some sort of form of liquidity sweep from London. Potentially that, but no previous day or session, so no entry. Now if London gets taken out in New York, it doesn't, so on to the next day. Obviously we know we're bullish, or looking for bullish setups. I'd like to see London take this level here as well, ideally. Has engulfed it anyway, so nothing for me yet. I'm not going to read that. I'm going to wait for New York, see if that actually gives a setup. What I just wanted to see is them lows like that. Doesn't engulf it, but I'm going to take that trade based on the fact that we swept this low, swept this low, swept this low, swept this low, and we've closed back above the previous hour's low. So that's a nice setup for me. That would be a close above in my journal. So I will note that down. It's a close above trade. And what I mean by that is this. There will be a close in the range. So we've got, are we in time? Yeah, 9 a.m. Thursday the 17th of April at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Thursday, 17th of April. Nice that we're seeing some trades straight away as well for a change. So with New York, we're long. That was long, I'm not sure. We don't know if it's one or not yet, so I can take it off. And it's a close in the range yet. So let's see what happens. If it's ready, it doesn't really, it's a bit sideways, so it may not be today, but we're going to take this anyways in case it is. Okay, we've engulfed now, sort of playing around during New York, probably going to get stopped. Not ideal. Move might be on the next day now. We're in Asia. Stop pushing price forward. London sweeps Asia low. Didn't engulf the previous candle, so there's no continuation there. And that's 5R. So if we actually hit 2R at any point here, I don't think so. 2R is probably going to be up here, isn't it? Let's just pull that to 2R, see what happens. So it's still not gone break even or anything at this point. So here, potentially, yeah, that is another trade that we could take based on the same theory. We're inside a 1 hour fair value gap. I know we don't engulf it. Okay, so no entry. Still going. Right, 2R gets hit, so that was nice. Although this is sloppy, our stops were below that low that raided all this liquidity and closed back above and closed within the range of the previous candle. So we're just looking for upside potential. We did run up to about nearly probably what 1.5 hour here. Cool. So that was quite a clean move off in the first hour. And then yeah, it took probably a day to finally get to the target that we wanted, but it did it. Where did we get to? Yeah, there. Did it get there? What the hell? No, it hasn't got there yet. Right, it has now. There we go. The external range is still the draw, and obviously, unless there's some sort of pullback for us to get on the 1 hour, then obviously trade's running without us, but that's fine because obviously we go and break even. So we got win, 2R, 1R hit, 50% off, yes. So we got minimum of 1R. We can copy and paste that as we know from before. Copy and paste that in a note. Boom. Let's see, we're quite high up in that trade now as well. So we're running loads of R with 50% left, obviously, taking out that higher. Look for a potential. No, we can't because the full trade hits. Perfect. Really nice move up in the end during Asia. So yeah, so that was a 5.61 R confirmed. 5.61 overall win. So that would be 1,000 in. So that means I left 500 running. So that would be 500 times by 5.61. So that would be, what would that be? So 5. So about 5,000. No, sorry, 2,000. It's about 2,750 roughly, or about 2,700, let's say, roughly. So overall, that would have been a 3K trade. Let's say 3.7K trade, which is real nice. The maths will be done correctly later on. I just want to kind of speed these up because I want to get as many tested as possible, really. So yeah, 5.61 overall. So that's a good start. Much nicer than the other pairs already, which is why EU, GU, and all that obviously the most traded pairs. And the internal to external is complete, and that was complete as well. We got wigged out on that one, no problem. Right idea, just wrong day, which is cool. That's why you don't change your bias if it's still there. Obviously, that was, where did we try and take it? I can't remember. Over here somewhere, I think it was. I don't know, but yeah, the idea was correct. So yeah, on to the next potential trade. Looking for a daily level to look to trade off. Could go for a short here. Have an inverted gap as well, which is quite nice. Don't know how that works with this strategy, but we'll see. So the daily levels there, again, created literally in the last hour of that day. Asia opens up. Wow, runs really far down. New York actually, does it create a new fair value gap? No, still got that intact. So the daily external is still there. So the trade's still valid. Internal has not been tagged yet. Potentially could be. We're on a Friday, so new week's going to open. Let's see London. Doesn't do anything. It does sweep liquidity, but there's no trade for me. New York. Boom, now it tags us, and now we can actually start looking for an entry. Nothing for me on this day. Oh, how are we going to end? Oh, actually, we have disrespected the level by the looks of it. Yeah, so we've gone through the level. So again, that's a potential fouled setup. Price looks like it wants to continue long. Oh no, and then ultimately did respect it. So yeah, no problem. We missed out. We go again on a potential setup here. If we are indeed bearish, that will look to continue that way. Let's see how this daily. Oh, okay, at daily levels there. Did we miss out on this day? Which obviously we could journal even if we did. No. No, there's no engulfing candle. Price comes up, don't engulf nothing. No. So the potential is still there if price does this, which is probably what I wanted to see. Now we want to see London take that Asia like that. It's inside here and we do close below. So what I would do is, again, I'll have it as a close below and have that as the stops. And then boom, have that as my total RR. And obviously have 2 R put in if we get round about that level, which I'm reckoning he was close to here. Yeah, very close. Back to break even. Oh, and looks like we're taking a loss. Okay, that's fine. 1 loss there. Just journal that. 5th of May, 2 a.m. 5th of May, 2 a.m. Didn't see the day. Monday. London. Short. Loss. -1. -1%. And then New York, we're just now still looking for shorts because it's still my bias at this point, unless New York completely closes out the day. Okay, big gap there down. Probably some news or something. What was this? PMI. So potentially you wouldn't even be trading this day, but for data's sake. And yeah, obviously we do close below here, but we ran through the gap, so no entry. I'll just probably look for a continuation on to the next day at this point. We still respected that daily level. Need to see London sweep. Some sort of liquidity. Doesn't quite give us a move, and it still looks bearish off that candle. Bullish even. Again, we've swept the high inside this gap and come down, so we wasn't too late in the session, so we look for a New York level now to short. I don't enter on that 5 a.m. candle because of what happens going into New York. New York, I'd look for a trade to sweep, and then now I'll still look for a short if we can get it. Again, going into 11, we've just taken that level. Potentially, you could trade that off that level there. I'm going to take that because it's quite a nice bearish close. Highs are quite high. And obviously, if we do target that high and that high, then we're wrong on the side anyways, sort of bias. Oh, so we're wrong again. 11 a.m. and it actually looks like that day is gonna. So we're gonna foul the level. Oh no, we closed just back in. Okay, so it's still valid for shorts, and we have now taken all the highs. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's put this down. Tuesday the 6th of May, 11 a.m. That's one of the things with trading them later candles is you've got to be a bit more careful. Like what I've noticed going when it's 11 a.m. on in New York, I most likely won't take as many trades if the candle's so high up in the daily level. Because obviously you need to see if we do close below, if that makes sense. We don't know if this is a fouled setup yet. What was that? Close in the range. What was that one on this 5th of May? So this is 6th, 5th. That was also a close in the range. No, yeah, close in the range. We got done in London, didn't we? Was it this one? Yeah, 2 a.m. London, close in the range, yeah. Okay, so we'll put that down. So we took a few close in the range and we couple of losses. We don't know if it's complete. And yeah, what I mean by that is obviously, look, you can see 4 p.m. going into 5. We have still respected the daily level. We've taken both sides of the market. But I'm not very confident going into Wednesday. Potentially Wednesday could show its hand and then we could just catch the continuation down. If not, it will just rip us and then there's no trade anyways. And then we'll be looking for a different setup. So yeah, that's another loss. No problem about that. It's a good loss to take. Stuck to the rules. Asia prints lower, or that gap even prints lower. London, we'd like to see them highs taken out. Like that. No, that's not looking good for London. Like for a trade for me. New York potentially. Nope. Nope. Again, it's getting late. I'm not trading that. We need to see, like I said, are we going to respect that level? Hopefully we do. Okay, we respect that level really nicely there. Potentially setting up a trade for the next day, hopefully, which may be the trade. So now coming into London, we want to see that high taken. Didn't really want to see that. We needed a liquidity sweep in the opposite direction, really. New York, can we get it? Yeah, we have had a sweep in here. There's not going to be enough for an entry, like pips wise. Potentially you could overdo it and go for that. That is risky because you're going about 6 pips over to get the 2R. I mean, we could take this and then just run it, and once we get there, we can go break even. So let's do that. Right, okay, so it absolutely runs anyways. So I'm going to actually take a picture of this one because the internal text on the range was still valid. We did have that close below, which I want to just put in there. Close below previous hours low. Hours high even. Close below previous hours below. There we go. Yeah, so that's really nice. Obviously, we have this internal range here on London also getting respected, which on a 1 hour is the key to entering because you're looking for continuation at this point. So we just want to see some sort of liquidity sweep, which we have. New York sweeps London's high, goes into the internal range, closes back below, rallies down. Don't expect them highs to get taken as they don't, and boom, boom. In the key times 9, 10, 11, we get the move. 2R confirmed. Really, really nice. Screenshot that. That's a really nice trade and a good example of the closing in the range working. So let's get that there, and let's get the comment. Let's get a zoomed out version because as you can see, we have the internal tagged over here, and then obviously price does linger around a little bit. We'll zoom that out and get that in. Again, nice trade, and then let's have the daily level. And then we can put the daily in because that's obviously what we're trading it off. Let's get rid of all this noise on these lower time frames now because we don't need it. Trade's been shown to play out. Nice 2R trade. Yes, we was targeting, but I did make it clear what we was doing. Obviously, it would have been trailing. It moved so fast, I would have just trailed it, so it's no big deal. And a lovely 2R trade. Perfect, in fact, to be honest. Respected the daily level really quite cleanly. So this completed, that completed as well. We just took losses, closed in the range. What was it? Plus 2R. No, to our target. Yes, to win short. Was it New York or was it London? Oops. I know exactly where I entered. Yeah, it was New York. 8 a.m. We'd entered at 9 a.m. New York, 9 a.m. on Thursday, the 8th of May. So a lot of trades so far, which is really nice for the journaling. Really nice. Much better than even like we're nearly taking the same amount as up here already. But we have taken more than EJ in 7 months and near enough the same as USD Chef. And we're only like not even a month in, so it's really nice. Results as far are plus 4.6 on there and plus 1 on here. So positive so far. Yeah, looking really quite clean. Let's go down. Let's do a few more for this video. It's just going to be a shorter one just because I've got things to do. And I'll come back and do some more at a later date. Maybe later on today or during the week. No level here. No level here. No level there. That is a slight one, but never happened anyways. Slow down with the click rate. Quite sloppy PA. Not even no fair value gaps. This is hence when you'd be on another pair. Let's have a look. We're on the 10th of June. Let's see if we would have had anything else on the 10th of June. So June, nothing. June, nothing. June, nothing. So we'd have been a bit bored with these pairs at this point. Nothing really happening. Obviously, there's about 15 or 20 more pairs you can actually look at. So we have this daily gap. Let's see if the next day prints a new one. No, we come down, which is nice. We didn't really close as low to it as we'd maybe like for it to enter. You may have had something on GU or the DXY at that point. But that's fine. As I said, real time we'll use SMT. Here we can't because I don't want to chop and change through all the charts. It's just not worth it. Probably all it will do is make your results better anyway, so it's not a massive big problem. We haven't tagged in. We tagged in here. Nope. We're coming down to the end of New York and we are tagged into the daily level. Yeah, we tagged into the daily level now. We can look for a reaction off. What day are we on? Tuesday. Okay, could be putting in a Tuesday, like a low of the week or something. Let's see how we react. Asia, I want to see that Asia low taken out in London or New York, whatever one. Just before I trade that level, I would like to see that level get taken out. Oh, okay. So New York does put in an engulfing candle, and it does tag into the 1 hour FVG. We have taken that low over there. We've taken that low there. That is an engulfing candle also. So technically, if you traded Asia, you could have taken that. Okay, so we make a move up. Let's give this as an example trade. Let's put on there. See how this plays out. Obviously, put stops down there. We don't expect it to come back at that low at that point once it engulfs really nice like that. Obviously, stops. We can now target this external range as the overall draw. And then same as normal, we go for 2R. Let's see what happens. Again, we're taking it from an internal range on the 1 hour at this point, assuming that we are now in the buy side of the curve, which we might not be. Okay, so we're not. So he wasn't ready, so we take a loss, 11 a.m. Again, them 11 a.m. candles are quite risky. Wednesday, 18th of June. Wednesday, 18th of June at 11 a.m. New York, long, loss, -1, -1. What I want to do is, we did engulf. I want to put a screenshot of this trade and show exactly what candle I took it off. Because that, I'm going to not take them anymore. I'm going to happily miss the trade and try and eliminate that and see how that goes. Let me screenshot that. And the reason I'm going to start eliminating them from the backtesting already is because I would rather miss the trade initially and then catch it at a later date and avoid this loss, because I kind of said to you even here, this doesn't really look too clean. Now, potentially, we're going to make the actual move. So my aim is to probably try and eliminate these choppy days, because you can see that we take both London high and low and then come back down. So, yeah. And in my notes, I'm just going to say, So I'm basically just saying that what I'm going to do from now on is I'm not going to take this as being like the first phase distribution here, then a pullback, and then we're entering. I'm going to actually wait and take the next one. Look at the draw; it's really far in front. We can take a trade here, 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 or anywhere. And obviously, by that I mean like potentially, let's say this trade here where we took the entry at this point. Let's say it does continue up like that, and then lingers, then comes here, and then, do you know what I mean? We can get all that move anyway, so there's no point rushing to enter here. We can avoid losses by the looks of it. So coming into New York, one more, not coming into New York. In fact, we are in New York. New day, we've respected the level. Let's see what happens in the next day. I want to see a sweep of liquidity in London. Oh, we do get that. We don't close back above. See, if that would have engulfed that candle, we could have looked for a long. Hasn't happened. So again, that's a better move. So the low, we close back above it. That's a sign of a stronger potential reversal point. And again, we can just look for a continuation in New York if it occurs here on this day, which don't look like it's going to be the case. Okay, so we've potentially avoided anything here because now we've got until 4 to see if price actually wants to push away, which it has, or obviously on the daily at that point when we're down at the bottom here, it might have disrespected it. So what can we see on the daily? Daily, we can see the previous day's low has been taken inside the level. So now we're really looking good to go long here. And we've got quite a lot of positions to go, hopefully, because you've got a lot of sessions in between that, unless obviously you get a huge move straight away, which either way, I'm going to look for the next potential setup. I do believe now that's the sell side of the curve. Obviously, first phase distribution, continuation. That's distribution, accumulation, distribution, phase 2, accumulation, price comes down, sweeps it, fakes the move, there isn't anything here, comes down again, puts in a new low, we sweep it here, close back above, potentially change in structure at this point because price doesn't want to go back below this London low, and now putting in a new day. So we'll see, again, like I said, what we're going to try and do is maybe let a bit of the move play out. We still call it, but let's see what happens. So price is looking bullish. London, what would we be looking for? Some sort of liquidity to be swept, which is that Asia low at that point. Doesn't want to. So New York comes in and sweeps both sides of this candle. Okay, good times. Takes London low inside a fair value gap. So now the potential after that is to enter there, which stops below there. Very aggressive. I did just say about not entering these. But for the sake of journaling, obviously, I need to be taking trades like this to see. So let's see what happens. Price comes out and wicks down, so that's a loss. But let's keep it going and see what happens. Okay, so that's manipulated just one more time there. Close back above the range, going higher. Obviously, now we'd be looking for where we're closing, which is there. So still looking good for a bullish day. Journal this trade, that is a loss. 9 a.m. Friday the 20th of June, 9 a.m. Friday 20th of June. It's a lot more trades though. It's good because we're also looking like we could be in a buy model. So that's good. Although there hasn't obviously been a win yet based on this bit of PA. That's fine. Like I said, you could take a couple losses trying to get in and then get in one and you make all your money. So obviously it's not really a massive big deal. And again, I will take a nice little screenshot of that because the trade idea is right. We have the sell side. We're looking on the buy side. We have taken liquidity here. It did have the engulfing candle here at 8 a.m. So the trade was right. We stuck to the rules. Taking losses when you stick to the rules don't even hurt. It feels good in a way actually. It's because you're following something, and that's what matters. So obviously now we're still looking for longs. Let's see. Whoa, new week opening gap opens up way lower. That could really throw this whole trade off. Probably going to let this Monday play out, to be honest. See if the level actually holds up. Okay, that's good. New York did hold up. Okay. Pushing up quite fast, in fact. Obviously, we know we closed bullish there on that day, which is real nice, but we know the level did indeed hold even after a new week opening gap. Are we going to have potential a trade, or is it going to just run to TP without any setup? Right, London comes lower. No engulfing candle though for entry. Not even a close below and a close within the range. New York. Ideally, we want New York to go lower first to give us a chance to actually enter a trade. Doesn't happen. Right, so there you go. So the external, so it did happen, but there was no move for us. Did we potentially miss out on the Monday? We do take this level. No engulfing off of it. Not really. New York moves really aggressively. Then that would have been too late for an entry. And then we don't really. I mean, we take this Asia level inside for a continuation, which you could have taken. But obviously, I wouldn't have taken the continuation off of this bearish candle because it still looks quite bearish. Even though it's took the level, obviously, I'd rather see that close back within. Close within the range as part of my rules. Bless me. So yeah, so no problem. The internal to external did indeed work on these. So again, that's really nice. Look, so we're actually getting moves that work, which is cool. What was that trade? I forgot. Was it engulfing or was it? Yeah, it was an engulfing trade. No problem. Okay, so yeah, so no trade. The internal to external range did play out, and we just delete joins and carry on. That's literally how it would be. I'm going to leave the video there on the 24th of June. I've got some things to do, so let's just put the June 24th, and then we can just go from there. Right, so then we can just go from there. So yeah, that's cool. I'll get that one uploaded now.